Hello there, everyone. This is Aunt Carol.
And Uncle Dan.
Welcoming you to another exciting Your Story Hour program.
This story is about a very special person.
A person known to almost every boy and girl in the United States.
A person who is honored for his love of country and for his love of people.
Maybe you've already guessed that this story is another in our series on the life of Abraham Lincoln. You'll remember that our last chapter ended with his family moving from Indiana to central Illinois.
In this episode, we pick up the story of his life just after he'd left home as a young man.
We call our story New Salem Days. In the year 1831, the town of New Salem was only a couple of years old, having been founded by James Rutledge and John M. Cameron in 1829. It consisted of a few log houses nestled on the high bank above the Sangamon River. Below, at the river, townsmen had built a dam and erected a grist mill and sawmill, two standard elements necessary to support frontier life.
Okay, roll her over. Easy now, it's a good straight log. Ready?
Ready. Feed her in.
Soon the sawmill and grist mill were bringing trade from the surrounding countryside, and New Salem began to flourish. In fact, with 25 or so families, New Salem was easily comparable to Chicago, which at the time boasted a population of only 100 people who occupied a few cabins huddled around Fort Dearborn. The hope of New Salem centered around the river. It supplied power for the mills, of course, but most importantly, it promised to become a major transportation artery for moving people and produce to and from the area.
Hey, Henry Armstrong.
Well, Clary, what's up? Fixing up your ferry, I see.
Just repegging this here board. Now, how's business?
Well, let's put it this way. A cooper's work is never done. I never stockpile many barrels before they're clean sold out. I can't keep up.
You better get used to it. This ferry of mine is bringing people across from the east side pretty regular now. More people, more trade. Why, each time I bring even a man and a horse across, it's 12.5 cents.
Yep, business is booming. And now that we got us a real bona fide dock coming.
Dartmouth train, too, don't forget.
You betcha. We got us a real dock and a real post office to boot. Not bad at all, I'd say.
Hey, look at there. We also got us another flatboat plumb hung up on the dam. Bow's clean raised out of the water.
Yep, and it's taking on water fast.
Hey, out there, try pulling it off.
Careful, it's shifting around.
Watch out!
Hey, look at that tall, gangly fellow on board there. Well, ain't he a sight?
Yeah, but he looks like he's in charge of things, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, looks that way.
As the crowd gathered on shore to watch, the boat's passengers worked frantically to avoid being swamped.
Okay, now quick, before it sinks, let's unload the stern. Here, grab this box.
One by one, they carried the boxes through the shallow water to shore.
It's working, Abe.
The boat's starting to right itself.
Let's keep at it, everybody. Look at that. The front just came down with a bang.
Abraham Lincoln, you're a genius, and that's for sure.
Why, Denton, I thank you kindly. Now, all we have to do is figure out how to get rid of all the water we took on.
Knowing you, you've already got a plan.
Well, boys, let's say I drill a hole in the bow. Now that it's sticking out over the front of the dam, we'll let the water run out, and then we plug it up again. With the boat that much lighter, I reckon it'll slide across this here dam like butter across hotcakes.
The crowd on the bank watched as the lanky, raw-boned young man carried out his plan and floated the flatboat over the dam. They'd seen many a boat hang up on their dam, a rather ingenious barrier constructed from large wooden bins filled with rocks. But they'd never seen anyone solve the situation quite like this long, tall stranger.
Smart going there.
Over round. Tie her up on the bank.
Hey, boys, that's the way to go.
Hand me the rope, young fella.
Much obliged. Name's Abraham. Abraham Lincoln.
William Clary, grocery keeper and ferry owner. My friend here, Henry Onstott, Cooper.
Pleased to meet you.
Howdy. Welcome to New Salem.
This here's my stepbrother, John Johnson.
Howdy.
A cousin of mine, John Hanks.
Howdy.
And the owner of this fine flatboat, Denton Offutt.
Hello.
You all come on up on the bluff. See our town. Rest a spell.
Well, all right. I reckon we could do that all right. Hey, Denton?
Lead the way, gentlemen.
Abraham, Denton, and the others chatted amiably with the townsfolk. Denton Offutt, in particular, was much impressed by the town, whereupon he made a pronouncement.
Gentlemen, I am convinced that this river of yours, the Sangamon, can be navigated by steamboats, and this town will see a great tide of immigration because of it. I'll build a boat and specially fit it with rollers to send it shooting across the shoals and with runners for the ice in the winter. By thunder, with Abraham Lincoln in charge, we'll make a go of it.
If the Sangamon River could be navigated by steamers, the town might quickly become a major frontier city. Denton Offutt laid plans to return to New Salem as soon as the cargo on the flatboat was delivered to New Orleans, and as part of that plan, Abraham Lincoln also returned.
Hey there, Abraham.
Henry Onstott. Hello there. How have you been?
Just fine, just fine. How was your trip?
All right. We come back up to St. Louis by steamboat, and I walked it on up here. I just got here yesterday.
That's a mighty fur piece of walking, I'd say. I didn't know if you'd come on back here or not.
Well, I guess I'm just a piece of floating driftwood chucked up by chance on your shores, Henry.
Well, we're mighty glad to have you back. Where's Offutt?
Denton stayed behind to buy up a stock of goods. Plans on opening up a store here.
Well, we can always use another store, sure enough. Without a good store or two, we'd never catch up on the news.
Hey, Henry!
Hey, Jack Armstrong, come on over here. Got somebody for you to meet.
We got a new face in town here, Henry.
This here's Abraham Lincoln. He's settling down in New Salem, gonna work for Denton Offutt in the store he's gonna open up.
Offutt?
You know, the fella said he's gonna build a steamboat.
Oh, yeah, I heard about it all right. And about you, Lincoln.
Abraham.
Abraham, then. Welcome to New Salem. But you better look out. Me and the rest of the Clary Grove boys love to fight better than we love to eat.
Well then, I'll take your advice and look out for you, all right?
Don't say you weren't warned, Abraham. These here Clary Grove boys are a pretty wild bunch. When they come to town, you can be pretty sure that something's gonna break loose.
By September of 1831, Denton Offutt had opened his store. Its shelves were lined with all sorts of items, from bolts of calico cloth to tea and sugar. And like other stores of the time, it served as a general meeting place. Offutt, a rather flamboyant character, spent considerable time bragging to townsfolk about how smart and strong Abraham was.
I'm telling you, he's got more stories to tell and more smarts inside that head of his than 10 men should be carrying around. Yes, sir, he can outrun, outthrow, and outfight any man for miles around.
Finally, the avowed champion of physical strength of the area, none other than Jack Armstrong himself, could stand it no longer and challenged Abraham to a wrestling match. In a time when there was no television, no radio, and few other amusements, such an event, common though it might have been, commanded a good deal of attention.
Here's my bet that says Abe Lincoln whips Jack Armstrong.
Yeah, Denton? Well, here's my wager that says nobody beats Jack.
I don't know, Clary. Seems to me maybe old Jack's gonna finally meet his match. Here's my hunting knife that says so.
The wagers were set and the match began. Strong, tough, hard, heavy-set, and experienced Jack Armstrong against tall, skinny Abraham Lincoln, 6 feet 4 inches, 185 pounds. The two warily circled each other, struggled, grappled, and twisted free over and over. But eventually, Abraham began to get the victory. The other members of the Clary Grove boys, seeing their champion in trouble, jumped in and backed Abraham against Offutt's store.
Well, that's a fine thing. One man against a whole slew of you? Oh, blast it all, I'll fight any one of you one-on-one. Which one of you treacherous varmints is gonna be first?
What's the matter, Clary? Your boys can't fight fair?
Come on, let's see Jack and Abraham shake hands. We'll call it a draw and everybody take their wages back.
Lincoln, it was a mighty good fight you put up. Draw. What do you say?
All right. A draw.
The fight with Jack Armstrong may seem like a small thing to us, but during the time America was being settled, a man was measured by his strength and courage, and Abraham Lincoln had just been judged worthy. Jack Armstrong became one of his closest friends, and the whole community admired not only Abraham's physical prowess, but his fine character. And soon he began to gain a reputation as an orator as well.
I'll tell you, Henry, that Lincoln is something else. The New Salem Debating Society has taken on a whole new shine since he's been around, and that's for sure. Yes, sir. I've got a most interesting border on my hands.
I know, Rutledge. I remember the first time he got up to speak. Well, you know how long and tall that feller is, legs sticking out of his pants by a good 6 inches, long arms, big hands, looking for all the world like a scarecrow.
That he does, Henry, that he does.
Well, up he gets, and we're all waiting for some one of his funny stories like he's all the time telling, and lo and behold, he starts in like Patrick Henry or something.
I know it. Why, everybody was a-sitting there with their mouths clean open. People have been coming in here to the Rutledge Tavern for weeks talking about it. He might be a bit awkward, but that there fella's a fine, fine speaker. Oh, Ann!
Yes, Papa?
Bring us some cider, will you please? One for me and one for Henry here.
I'll get it for you.
Mentor Graham tells me Abraham's studying grammar and mathematics with him.
Well, I reckon being the school teacher mentor is the best person for the job, all right.
Here you are, Papa.
Oh, thank you, Ann.
But that's not all old Abe's up to.
Oh?
Nope. He's going to run for the state legislature.
You're kidding me, Henry. Somebody right here in New Salem running for the legislature?
Yep, he's announcing his candidacy next week. You best be there at that meeting.
Oh, don't you worry. That's one meeting I'd never miss. I reckon everybody'll be there, 'cause even though he hasn't got much, he's sure got a lot of friends.
On March 9, 1832, Lincoln addressed his townsmen and announced his candidacy. In his speech, he advocated deepening and straightening the river as the most practical improvement for New Salem, and he encouraged everyone to have a sufficient education to read history and scripture. At the end of the speech, he said,
Every man is said to have his peculiar ambition. Whether it be true or not, I can say for one that I have no other so great as that of being truly esteemed of my fellow men, by rendering myself worthy of their esteem. How far I shall succeed in gratifying this ambition is yet to be developed. I am young.
If he weren't elected, Lincoln added, he was too much acquainted with disappointment to be much affected by it. Would he win? And if not, could he continue upward in the face of defeat? At that point, no one knew for sure. Shortly after Abraham Lincoln advocated deepening and widening the river in his campaign speech, it looked as if the hopes of the village for river travel would be met. Captain Vincent Brogue announced that he would bring his chartered steamer, the Talisman, up the Sangamon to New Salem. The news electrified the countryside.
Yep, and you know what this means. Cheaper prices on all our goods. We'll just ship them here by boat.
No more fighting muddy roads in the spring.
Roads? Ha! More like quagmires. I've been up to my neck in water and mud trying to navigate them roads.
I'm buying up some land, boys. Prices are bound to go up. This is a golden opportunity.
The Talisman did puff its way upriver to New Salem amidst joyous cheers, in spite of the fact that the dam had to be torn down to let her pass. But the celebration was short-lived, for within a week, receding water forced a quick departure. Lincoln was part of the crew who saw the Talisman back downstream to Beardstown. From that time on, uncertainty about the possibility of navigating the river settled over the village, and within a few years, people began to move away from New Salem. In the meantime, though, Abraham had many adventures, including duty as a militiaman in the Black Hawk War.
I say we elect Abraham Lincoln our captain.
Hear, hear.
Abe's our man.
Although the militia successfully repelled the return of Chief Black Hawk and his braves from across the Mississippi River, Lincoln saw no real action in the war. He returned to New Salem just before the election, which he lost. He then bought part ownership in one of the stores in New Salem, which became known as the Lincoln Berry Store. Later, he sold his share to Berry, but by that time, he had incurred debts connected with the business that would haunt him for years. However, while he was still part owner, he was appointed to become postmaster for New Salem, a position which gave him much exposure to people and events.
Morning, Abe.
Howdy, Clary.
I got a letter here to send out. When's the rider due?
Tomorrow morning, Saturday, 4 a.m. Arrives at the Warren Courthouse in Monmouth at 8 p.m. Monday night.
Sounds good. Hey, what's this here I see?
A newspaper. As postmaster, I get one every day.
Well, I guess if I need to know something about what's happening in the world, I sure know where to come.
While postmaster, Abraham was able to earn extra money at all sorts of odd jobs, such as harvesting, tending store, and rail splitting. Always eager to learn, Lincoln once again sought out Mentor Graham, who helped him master subjects such as trigonometry and rectangular surveying. Soon he was earning money with his new knowledge, and to this very day, some roads he surveyed in Illinois are still in use. During this time, the spring of 1834, he decided to run for the state legislature once again. While campaigning, he visited a friend in Island Grove by the name of Rowan Herndon.
Thank you kindly. It was delicious. A real stick-to-your-ribs kind of meal.
Would you like to meet my harvest crew? Could mean more votes for you come fall.
Well, thanks, Rowan. Sure thing. Let's go.
Men, this here's Abraham Lincoln, and he's running for the legislature. He'd sure like it if you'd vote for him in the election.
Ha! We can't vote for a man unless he can do our kind of work.
Yeah, we'll vote for you if you can handle this cradle proper like.
If that's all it takes, man, then I'm sure of your votes.
Abe went all the way around the field with practiced ease and won their confidence. Sometimes, while he was campaigning, he'd break up fights and win the admiration of onlookers. Back in New Salem, he began to pursue another interest, that of law. Already, he had represented a few people before the bench, but now he began to study every law book he could get his hands on.
Well, now, Anne, I suppose you see our star boarder there under the tree.
Yes, Papa, with a book as usual.
A law book, to be exact. Some people think he's lazy, because it seems like he's barefoot under a tree with a book most of the time these days. But I know he's going places.
I think so, too. Why, he's already elected to the legislature.
He's ambitious and smart, but he should take a little break now and then. He goes at it a mite too hard to my way of thinking.
Maybe you're right, Papa. He's getting even skinnier. But I kind of like it that he knows Shakespeare.
Oh?
He even recited some of it to me once.
Hey now, what's this I'm hearing? Aren't you engaged to McNeil or McNamara, whatever he conjures up to call himself?
Oh, Papa.
I know, Annie girl. I know what everybody's thinking. That he isn't going to come back for you. Well, maybe he really did go back east to bring his family out here, but I have to tell you, I'm skeptical. I just don't want you to get hurt.
Well, if he doesn't come back, at least I still have friends.
Like Abraham, maybe?
Oh, Papa.
After borrowing $200 from a friend for clothes and other expenses, Abe left for the legislature in Vandalia, then the capital and hub of Illinois. Here he observed wealth and education, social grace and charm in action. It was truly a revelation to someone born and raised in poverty. In February of 1835, he returned to New Salem, and it soon became obvious that Anne Rutledge and Abraham Lincoln had more than a passing interest in each other.
Well, well, look there, would you, Henry?
Yep, Anne and Abraham, dodging the raindrops. I declare I don't think it'll ever stop raining this summer.
Everybody thinks they're sweet on each other, you know.
Oh, I know, and I'd have to say I agree. Besides, I don't think McNamara's coming back for her. She'd best get on with her life.
They do make a handsome couple. Well, they've known each other almost since he came to New Salem.
Yep, she was just a wisp of a schoolgirl then. But now look at her.
With blue eyes and flowing auburn hair, Anne Rutledge was pleasingly plump and pretty. Nearly everyone in New Salem knew that she and Abraham had come to an understanding, as they said, which meant in due time they expected the couple to marry. The summer of 1835 was one of the hottest in Illinois history, and it rained nearly every day. Rivers flooded, sending Abe through standing water to do his surveying. And then, suddenly, Anne fell ill.
Annie? Anne? Baby?
Papa, I want Abraham. Abe.
Doctor, is it all right? Should I send for him?
I wouldn't advise it, James. Patients with brain fever must have absolute quiet, or the excitement might do her damage.
Abraham. Papa, please.
Is there any hope for her?
I'm sorry, James.
Abraham, where are you?
I can't bear it. I must send for him.
William Herndon, Abe's future law partner and friend, later said that the meeting between Abraham and Anne at her deathbed was, as he put it, quite as much as either could bear. The voice, the face, the features of her, the love, sympathy, and interview fastened themselves upon his heart and soul forever. After Anne's death on August 25, 1835, Abraham descended into inconsolable depression.
Hey, Jack, how's he doing?
Not so good, I'm afraid, Henry. He says he cannot bear the thoughts of rain falling on her grave. On gloomy days especially, we keep watch of him for fear he'll harm himself.
But by the time a year had passed, Abraham was pulling his life together again. In the summer of 1836, he became a candidate for re-election to the legislature, and on September 9th, he was granted a license to practice law. On April 15, 1837, he stuffed his few personal belongings into a saddlebag, borrowed a horse, and moved to Springfield. But it was in New Salem that the seeds of greatness in his character had been nurtured and strengthened, and from New Salem that Abraham Lincoln went into the world to meet his destiny.